What's up? Hey, that's not the camera. Here's the camera. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back to FNAF TV Season 2, baby. This is live stream episode, what do you want to call it? But hey, welcome back. This is a new thing. My camera is usually there, somewhere there. But now it's here because I'm using my mobile phone camera. This is the mobile cam, is what I like to call it. It's pretty weird, by the way. I'm used to looking at the laptop camera, but now this is something different. I thought I'll try it. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, welcome back to FNAF TV. The last stream was a bit unfortunate. It kind of got it stopped. Yeah, it literally just stopped. My internet connection was good, but still the stream said, Streamlabs OBS at least said that my internet connection has a problem while I was just still using internet connection on my phone and shit. But yeah, whatever. Forget about the past live stream. I hope this one goes good. And this is another theorizing live stream. I'm not gonna play FNAF 3 because I don't have it. I used to have it, but I don't anymore because I used to use my friend's account to play FNAF, and I don't have access to it anymore. I have downloaded FNAF 2 though, so that's the only game apart from Pizzeria Simulator that I have on my computer. So I just have to watch old gameplay and whatnot. So yeah, welcome to the stream. If you're watching this later on, welcome again. I'm gonna do a pro gamer move, and I'm gonna show move. I'm gonna show you my screen. How do I do that? Yeah, that's how I do that. Yep, now I can see my screen, my entire screen. It's incognito. Ignore all these tabs on the top. Ignore all the pins. A lot of people call me out. I have too many pins in the taskbar, and I tell them I need them. So yeah, screw yourself. Let's start with FNAF 3. Let's start with FNAF 3 Night 1 because I've already worked on night FNAF 2, and I've already recorded the video, and I'm in the midst of editing the video. So the video will probably be up by tomorrow. So by 1st of June, if you're watching this later, 1st June 2020 is probably when the video will be out. The FNAF 2 night 2 video, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna get this mic a bit out of my way. Let's talk about what is this, levels. That there are levels in all right, you call it levels. Shiz. Okay, all right. What is this? I don't want Game of Thrones. I don't watch Game of Thrones. Let's start with the phone dude. Right? Let's start with the phone dude. I like this right here. It says phone dude. Alright, so I did some changes. I did the changes about the OBS detecting my screen. It was not previously, but it is now. So let's just hope it does not crash my stream or something. So let's listen to this phone call for now. It's loud.
Another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now.
Okay. So as we know, the FNAF 3 location is one of the many Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. We have no official confirmed count on how many pizzerias there have been of Freddy's. So I'm assuming this was one of the first ones. I'm probably assuming that because of the existence of the Spring Lock suits, Spring Bonnie and Spring Freddy. Is that what you call them? Because of their existence, I'm assuming this location is one of the first ones. So they have started. So it's like 30 years gap. I think it's been 30 years, and they've started like a horror attraction in that location. This line always puts me off though. Glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. What do you mean by that? What? Have I been working at Fazbear's Fright before? We found some great new relics over the weekend. So what I think is there has been a Fazbear's Fright before this, before the one that we see in the FNAF 3. There has been one before this, and that went pretty much boring or something. Uh, like nothing happened there. Well, it was a failure. It is what I'm assuming. But this right here, he says, I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. So I'm assuming this is my second time coming at a Fazbear's Fright. So I think it's like they sold their the company, the Fazbear Entertainment, and the new owner decided to start horror attractions in all the previous Freddy's locations, all the sister locations, all the Freddy location, and he starts calling these horror attractions Fazbear Frights. So I'm assuming this is not the first location, not the first Fazbear's Fright, and we have worked there. We as in the player, the in-game character, playable character, PC, not the NPC, the PC. And I'm assuming this is not his first time working at a Fazbear Fright from that line. We found some great relics over time. We're tracking down a new lead right now. What lead?
So, let me just update you real quick, then you can get to work. Like, the attraction opens in like a week, so we have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. When the place opens...
That's a great foreshadowing of so we have to make sure that everything works and nothing catches on fire. As we know, by the end, the entire place catches on fire. So I don't know. This is my first time actually catching, literally, the line of catches on fire. So yeah, that's a odd detail, to be honest.
People will come in at the opposite end of the building and work their way toward you, then past you and out the exit. Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction. You'll be starring as the security guard. So not only will you be monitoring the people on the camera as they pass through, to make sure no one steals anything or makes out in the corner, but you'll also be a part of the show. It'll make it feel really authentic, I think. Now let me tell you about what's new. We found another set of drawings, always nice, and a foxy head, which we think could be authentic. Then again, it might just be another crappy cosplay. And we found a desk fan, very old school, metal though. So watch the fingers. Right now the place is basically just, flashing lights and spooky props. I honestly thought we'd have more by now. If we don't have something really cool by next week, then we may have to suit you up in a furry suit and make you walk around saying, boo. But, like I said, we're trying to track down a good lead right now. Some guy who helped design one of the buildings says it was like an extra room that got boarded up or something like that. So we're going to take a peek and see what we can find. For now, just get comfortable with the new setup. You can check the security cameras over to your right with the click of that blue button. You can toggle between the hall cams and the vent cams. Then over to your far left, you can flip up your maintenance panel. Use this to reboot any systems that may go offline. In trying to make the place feel vintage, we may have overdone it a bit. Some of this equipment is barely functional. Yeah, I wasn't joking about the fire. That's a real risk. The most important thing you want to watch for is the ventilation. Look, this place will give you the spooks, man, and if you let that ventilation go offline, then you'll start seeing some crazy stuff, man. Keep that air flowing. Okay, keep an eye on things, and we'll try to have something new for you tomorrow night.
All right. Lot of things to talk about. You'll be starting as the security guard, as if that was a huge character before. So not only will you be monitoring people, blah blah blah. They found a foxy head. Don't know how that connects to anything. Then again, it must be another crappy cosplay. Desk fan, another reference to fan. Then you may have to wear a furry suit and make you walk around saying boo. Okay, I have to track down a good lead right now. So they're trying to find something that is like, oh shit, that is scary. So they're trying to go for something like that. And this is some guy who helped design one of the buildings. Says there was like an extra room that got boarded up or something. Only the employees know that, apart from the guy who designed the entire building, of course. Helped design one of the buildings. Okay, so he didn't exactly design this building, maybe. So it's like a common thing that every Freddy's location has a back room that is secret to everybody, and it's probably boarded up with wall that is basically walled up after something happens. Yeah, apart from that, I don't see a lot of things. So yeah, this thing is, I was not joking about the fire. That's a real risk. So yeah, that's the kind of okay. Ventilation. Yeah, this ventilation goes offline and you start seeing some crazy stuff. Phantom animatronics, of course. Keep that air flowing, keep that eye on the things, and we'll try to have some new for you tomorrow night. So, this may simply be because the nights are much shorter than in the previous games. HR is okay. Nothing happens in first night. There are no audio, video, or ventilation errors, and Springtrap and Phantom animatronics aren't active. As a result, it is impossible to lose on this night. Therefore, this night serves as an introduction for beginners to get used to the controls and mechanics. The reason Springtrap is not active is because he is not discovered at the time of night 1. It is during night 1's call that potential fire risks within the attraction are mentioned, heavily foreshadowing the attraction's fate. This is the only night which shows green color text upon starting the night. Every night onwards will show white text. This possibly tells the player this is a safe night, hinting at no jump scares, hence the green name of the night. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. This phone call lasts longer with 5 fast nights enabled due to an even shorter hours being cut off. Okay, I don't know what that is. But mini game. Yeah, let's talk about the mini game. Upon clearing this night, the player will be taken to a mini game which seems to take place in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza of the first game, so the FNAF 1 location. The player controls Freddy and has to follow a purple colored version of Freddy, most likely Shadow Freddy, from the second game. After a certain point, Purple Freddy will enter a room, the safe room, which the animatronics aren't programmed to enter. That when the player attempts to follow it, they will be given an error message and will be unable to enter the room. Shortly after, Purple Guy will run out of the room and dismember Freddy. So Purple Guy is wearing the purple suit, right? He's wearing the purple suit and he's luring other animatronics to the back room to dismember the animatronics. Not just Freddy. Throughout the time we see Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy as well. And I think that's it. Yeah. Also, if the player strays from the path of Purple Freddy for too long without following him, Purple Guy will run at the dismantle Freddy. Wait, what? Will run at and dismantle Freddy regardless. Okay, yeah, I know that part. If the player explores the minigame area, they will come across a hallway which provides instruction on how to play the hidden minigame. So yeah, there's a hidden minigame thing is also new version of minigame. There's normal minigame and there's hidden minigame, which yeah, it kind of makes sense. So that's first night. Nothing much to talk about. Let's talk about night 2 phone call. Wait, where's the phone dude? Okay, the phone dude says something that we found something. I do want the phone dude's lines. I need to listen to the phone dude. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do FNAF 3 Night 2 phone call. Did I click on night? Yeah, I did click on night 2. Cool. Here we go. Genius. There's done something about it. Night 2. All right. As night. Wait, night 2. Sorry. Night 2. Phone. Hey man. Okay, I have some awesome news for you. First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Okay, dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes for some for other employees or something like that. So I thought we could like have them playing like over the speakers while people walk around the attraction. Dude, that makes me feel legit, man. But I have an even better surprise for you, and you're not gonna believe this. We found one, a real one. Oh, gotta go, man. Well, look, it's in there somewhere. I'm sure you will see it. Okay, I'll leave you with some of this great audio I found. Talk to you later, man. Click. Okay, now that's the phone call that we need to listen to. Okay, cool. So yeah, they found Springtrap is what I'm assuming. And they found him in the back room is what I'm assuming. The back room, they opened the back room, and that's where they found him. Let's listen to the phone call.
Hey man, okay, I have some awesome news for you. First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude,
Why did I read that?
Prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes for like other employees or something like that. So I thought we could like have them playing like over the speakers as people walk through the attraction. Dude, that makes us feel legit, man. But I have an even better surprise for you. And you're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one. Gotta go, man. Well look, it's in there somewhere. I'm sure you'll see it. Okay, I'll leave you with some of this great audio that I found. Talk to you later, man. Hello? Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These tapes will provide you with much-needed information on how to handle/climb into/climb out of mascot costumes. Right now, we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents/injuries/deaths/irreparable and grotesque maiming can occur. First, we will discuss how to operate the mascots when they are in animatronic form. For ease of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound cues. This is an easy and hands-free approach to making sure the animatronics stay where the children are for maximum entertainment/crowd-pleasing value. To change the animatronics to suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank provided by the manufacturer. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the sides of the suit, providing room to climb inside. Please make sure the spring locks are fastened tight to ensure the animatronic devices remain fixed. We will cover this in more detail in tomorrow's session. Remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Alright, so this is probably one of the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza phone guy talks to one of the entertainers, a person who wears a spring lock suit. These tapes will provide you with much needed information, how to climb in, climb out of the mascots. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents, injuries, death, irreparable and grotesque maiming can occur. Alright, animatronics set to walk towards sounds they hear, which is an easy and hands-free approach to making sure the animatronics stay where the children are. Cool. To change the animatronics, that's a good mechanic for Springtrap. To change the animatronics to suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank. Probably the hand crank purple guy was having as in the hand during the FNAF 2 minigame. Yeah. Alright. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronics parts, able to climb in. We will cover this in more detail in tomorrow's session. Cool. Yeah. What about the mini game. Yeah, the player takes the role of Bonnie. It is the same map in the previous night, and they have to follow the same Purple Freddy Fazbear like before. This Purple Freddy will ask the player to follow it. As the player follows it through different rooms, the Purple Freddy will end up asking the player to follow it into a room that, when they attempt to enter, will bring up an error message. Shortly after, Purple Guy will run out of the room and dismantle Bonnie. Also, if the player strays from the path of Purple Freddy for too long without following him, Purple Guy will run at it and dismantle Bonnie. Yeah, we know that. Hidden minigame. Okay, so now the player explored the minigame after the previous night and saw the clues in the left corner, BB, DBL click, and the series of symbols in the right. Those refer to hidden places that can be clicked in this night to start the process of unlocking the hidden ending in the game. The first minigame required is BB's minigame. To do this, look for a poster with him on cam 8 and double click on it. This switches the game with controls much like the other mini games of this style. Collect all balloons, but once the exit appears, do not enter it. Yeah. Doing this will alter the other mini games to open new paths. Yep, I know that. And then the series of symbols refers to the arcade machine, where the symbols reference a button sequence to be pressed on the left hand side. Click them in order from top left, bottom left, top right, bottom right to access Mangle's minigame. Here the player must get to the far right, collecting all the Mangle's parts without allowing the running child to hit the player. As with BBs, do not go in the exit and instead jump over it to find the hidden wall above it. Alright, and follow over the balloons, which player needed to complete BB's minigame to enable. There will be cake at the end. Collect it to finish. This enables player to give cake in the minigames. Which means BB's minigame can now be played once more with the new path opened. Go through the secret wall as before, but this time the player will land on some balloons. Follow the path to the ghostly child and run up to him. Give the cake to make him stop crying. This minigame will be over. On camp there is a picture of the puppet, which can be double clicked. In this game, the player can play as the puppet, and going over to the far right will show the player how many children the player has helped, in addition to another ghostly child that the player cannot help just yet. This updates as the player helps more of the ghostly children. Okay, if this night was completed in the mobile version, Chica's party will start automatically. Cool. It is possible to survive this night without doing anything, although the odds of this are extremely unlikely. Cool. This is the first night where Springtrap is active. He was presumably found just before night 2, according to the phone dude. Cool. Phantom BB, Phantom Mangle first appear. Possibly a reference to BB and Mangle becoming active on night 2. Cool. Phantom Foxy can rarely attack the player on this night in the mobile version after lowering the maintenance panel. Cool. The color on the text displayed night is white instead of green. For unknown reasons, this is the last night where Ford Dude himself talks to the player. Yeah. In the end of a night minigame, Bonnie appears blue, like Toy Bonnie, rather than purple. It is unknown as to why this is, as the minigame supposedly takes place in the first game, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and the animatronics on stage are the original, not the toys. I think it's just the 8-bit color, because then the purple would make him to be Shadow Bonnie. So yeah, I don't know about that one. This could be oversight by Scott Conn or intentional choice to differentiate Bonnie from the coloring of the pizza. Yeah, same. Unlike the animatronics from the first 2 games, who remained inactive for the majority of the night in which they are introduced, Springtrap will become active and begin moving immediately when the night begins. As such, the player is advised to be on higher caution when beginning this night than in the previous 2 games. This is a weird thing though, that only when Spring Bonnie is active is the Phantom animatronics become active. I know that they are just hallucinations, but why is it that only when Springtrap is around you does he cause the hallucinations, or is it the puppet? Because we do know there is puppet in this game. Yeah, let's see that. Sorry for the camera bump. FNAF 3. puppet. This is the phantom one. I'm talking about the full. Whoa, what is this? Jesus. No. Yeah, this one. So there is actually puppet, and this this thing is also visible of reflection and whatnot. So he's actually there. Is he in appearances? Final Freddy's 2. Final Freddy's 3. Okay, the puppet returns in Final Freddy is one of the attraction in Fazbear's Fright along with Chica. It can be seen in hallway in Cam 8. It appears. It does affect. Its appearance does affect gameplay, and if player stares at the puppet for too long, the phantom puppet will attack. Wait, what? Cam 8. Or do you mean this thing? Okay. I thought you meant like an actual full-blown Chica as well. Okay, for the phantom puppet, not much can be seen about it, as only its head is shown. The puppet lacks a body entirely and the back of its head, which makes it partly empty. Although sometimes in Cam 8, the player can see the real puppet with the same design from the second game, real enough to see its reflection until it is actually revealed to be phantom puppet after lowering the monitor. Okay. How is that illusion so real that only the puppet can be seen as the real puppet? Perhaps the puppet's only notable appearance in the game is in the mini-game Happiest Day. The player plays as the puppet and is the only capable cool Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm telling you. However, once player has completed all the other cake endings, they will then find 4 children wearing masks of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy to the left of the table. In the place of children previously wearing grey masks touching the table, will place a cake on it. Play the good ending. The giant figure in the background of Mangle's quest minigame bears some resemblance to the puppet, although it serves no function and is only part of the background. Alright, so he is in FNAF 3. Pretty weird, to be honest. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it for night 2. That's just night 2. Jeez, that's a lot of things to cover up. Night 3. Alright, let's go to the phone call. It's very small. It's very short. It's small. It's very short.
Hello. For today's lesson, we will be continuing our training on proper suit handling techniques. When using an animatronic as a suit, please ensure that the animatronic parts are tightly compressed and fastened by the spring locks located around the inside of the suit. It may take a few moments to position your head and torso between these parts in a manner where you can move and speak. Try not to nudge or press against any of the spring locks inside the suit. Do not touch the spring locks at any time. Do not breathe on the spring locks, as moisture may loosen them and cause them to break loose. In the case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out, as to not ruin the customer experience. As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. Every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layouts programmed into the animatronics or security system. This room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off camera. As always, remember to smile. You were the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Designated safe room. It's an emergency room. Talks about not breathing or putting any moisture onto the spring locks. I've heard that before. But alright, there's not a lot in the phone call to talk about. But he just talks about the spring locks in the hidden room. Minigame. Like the previous 2 nights, a minigame will trigger when the player completes the night. This minigame is just like the previous 2, except the player is controlling Chica. The same purple Freddy will ask the player to follow it. Doing so will eventually lead the player to the same room, blah blah blah. We know. Try to say to Cam 8 where there are no vents for him to climb into. A Springtrap gets into a room with vents, seal off the vent. It's a good tip actually. If I do get to play FNAF 3, I'll just keep sending him to Cam 8. Hidden minigame. The clues from the previous nights this time were 4 dark skull-like symbols. Yeah, this is the Chica game. Yep. Phantom Chica is active on the night, which makes it problematic for beginners as it is easy to trigger the Phantom Chica without even knowing it. Phantom Chica's face will replace the screen on the arcade machine on Cam 7, and if looked at for too long, she will appear on the left side of the office upon lowering the monitor, jump scaring the player and disabling the ventilation system. Cool. Phantom Freddy becomes active on this night, possibly referencing the fact that Freddy becomes active on night 3 of the first game. This game is very much connected to FNAF 1. The minigame location is in FNAF 1. There's a lot of gameplay patterns to FNAF 1 also. But then again, there's BB and a Mangle pattern is from FNAF 2. So yeah, I don't know about that one. This is like the Springtrap is playing Ultimate Custom Night with us. Like he's the one controlling all this illusions and hallucinations. Or we are Jeremy Fitzgerald and Mike Schmidt, which probably might say what we are, and we are just kind of these hallucinations are kind of a trip down memory lane, because you remember those things, right? Like that's in your head. That's kind of in your head, so that's why you keep remembering it. So yeah, I think that's it for night 3. There's not a lot of thing to talk about in night 3. Night 4. I'm just gonna read. There's been a slight change in company policy concerning use of suits. Don't. After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures, the company has deemed the suits temporarily unfit for employees. Safety is our top priority at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is why the classic suits are being retired to an appropriate location while being looked at by our technician. Until replacements arrive, you will be expected to wear the temporary costumes provided to you. Keep in mind that they were found on very short notice, so questions about appropriateness/relevance should be deflected. I repeat, the classic suits are not to be touched, activated or worn. That being said, we are free of liability. Do as you wish. As always, remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So what I think, I've always had a very huge confusion about the sister location. That is not the sister location. Babies rentals, for babies and fun time rentals and all that shit. It's not the spring locks are not about that. What I'm assuming is this Freddy Fazbear's takes place around the time of FNAF 2, right? And or maybe not. Well, yeah. What could be the sister location to the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, right? Has to be something. Might be Fredbear's Family Diner. Who knows at this point? Because we know Springtrap, like the purple guy didn't get trapped into Spring Bonnie until like the very end of the timeline, right? That is when he gets trapped into it. That's the ending of FNAF 3. So that cannot be the spring lock failure. I don't know. There's something about this sister location. There could be another Freddy's, and it says at the sister location. It doesn't say at a sister location. It says at the sister location. So there has to be just one sister location during the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It could be Fredbear's Family Diner, which I'm assuming would be the bite. The crying child bite. I'm not gonna say bite of 87 or 83. It's just the bite. The crying child, the Fredbear bite. How about that? That could be because that was a yellow suit, and so that these suits could be the problem. These suits can, but then it says temporarily unfit for employees. So someone died in one of those suits. Probably. It cannot be Springtrap, is what I'm guessing. It cannot be Springtrap. But then again, why can it not be Springtrap? We don't know when this Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria takes place. Probably before FNAF 2, of course, because of the suits, the golden suits. Golden Freddy was abandoned after that. Golden Freddy was abandoned after that. Could it be Golden Freddy? I don't think it could be Golden Freddy. No, it cannot be. It cannot be. It has to be the Golden Bonnie suit. Springtrap or Golden Bonnie, whatever that is. Fredbear and Bon. God, it's very confusing. What sister location could it be? Maybe Fredbear's Family Diner. Maybe it could be. I don't want to say Baby's Rentals. There's no spring lock failure there because those suits are not spring lock suits. Those are. I don't think those are spring lock suits. I don't know what to say. Well, it has to be someplace not relevant for now. But again, these suits are deemed you cannot wear them basically. Staying true to the previous nights, completing this night sends the player to the same minigame. Yep, we are Foxy. Foxy dies. Yeah, okay, so this is the stage 1 mini game. Sets me to the idea that this is the first stage, the first ever stage where the animatronics ever took place. So the Fredbear's Family Diner, that is the first ever location. There were no locations before Fredbear's Family Diner, and stage 1. I don't think that's Golden Freddy. That has to be Fredbear, though, right? Golden Freddy isn't that big and fat. Like, he's not huge. Golden Freddy is as huge as normal Freddy is. He's just golden color. And that has to be Fredbear. Or is Fredbear and Golden Freddy the same thing? Who knows at this point? Alright, so we are on stage. Kids will be watching the two perform. However, if the player goes off the stage and tries to jump back on, they will phase out of the map. Yeah. Find a kid. While playing the minigame in one of the hallways, Shadow Bonnie will appear as a clue to the good/neutral ending. Right. This next minigame is the last end of night minigame. Playing as an animatronic, although the player does play as an animatronic during the hidden minigame to complete the good ending. Alright, cool. Let's I think that's it for fourth night as well. There's not a lot of in the nights. It's just like as Scott wanted to make FNAF 3 the end of the franchise, right? He wanted to tie loose ends. Remember company policy regarding safe room. The safe room is reserved for equipment and or other property not being currently used and is in fact a safety location for employees only. So that is where I would assume Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie were thrown away, were kept at least. This is not a break room and should not be considered a place for employees to hide or congregate. And under no circumstances should a customer ever be taken into this room and out of the main show area. Management has also been made aware that the Spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved. What? Spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved. We would like to remind employees that this costume is not safe to wear under any circumstances. So the purple guy has been around since the first location and he has used the first Freddy, the Spring Bonnie suit then. Okay. What confuses me though is by the end of minigame where you play as a crying child and you put purple guy into the suit and he dies and he stays there until they're found. That is the FNAF 1 location, but then FNAF 3 phone dude implies that he was found in the FNAF 3 location, which I would assume is the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. How did he get there? How did Purple Guy get from FNAF 1 location to now FNAF 3 location? How's that a thing? How did he get there? If he did die in FNAF 1 location. And Purple Guy used Bonnie animatronic, the suit, the Bonnie suit, Spring Bonnie suit then, for some reason. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The dead children will then fade away. The minigame highly suggests that Purple Guy could have died from a faulty spring lock inside Springtrap. Okay, hidden minigame. Okay, the puppet minigame, yeah. The completion, the good ending, bad ending thing. Phone Guy mentions the Spring Bonnie costume in the phone call, which has led many fans to believe that Springtrap may actually be Bonnie. It is Bonnie. What else could it be? This area is further supported by the fact that a phantom version of Bonnie is nowhere to be found in the game. Oh yeah. The empty Bonnie suit seen on Cam 2 possibly disproves this, though it could easily be a spare suit. Yeah, it could be a spare suit. This could be a spare suit. The Golden Freddy minigame reveals that Springtrap was in fact the first Bonnie model, the same way Golden Freddy was the first Freddy model. It is not, however, the same Bonnie from the first and the second game, as he was active during that time. What? But Springtrap was locked up in a safe room. What? Okay. The night minigame reveals that Springtrap is in fact a spring lock costume. It has to be. It's in the name. Dumbos. Night 5 of the third game is the first in series that doesn't disclose the protagonist's identity with the use of a paycheck. Well, he probably dies in the fire, is what I'm assuming. In the trailer of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Springtrap is in a similar position to which the purple guy presumably dies in, possibly making a connection. I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's completely different locations. It's two completely different locations. The song that plays when the player beats Night 5 and gets the good ending is called "Don't Go" by. Why is that a? Okay, fine. The glow of an additional head can be seen in the background in the bad ending and is absent in the good ending. It is speculated that it belongs to Golden Freddy. The interesting fact is that the additional head eyes are both glowing as opposed to the other heads, which have only one glowing eye socket. This is likely just the light glowing in the left socket extended to the other one, as shown in Freddy's head and Bonnie's head. Okay. Right, that's probably the end of the Night 5. We have Nightmare. This is just to inform all employees that due to budget restrictions, the previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at most locations, including this one. Work crews will be here most of the day today, constructing a false wall over the old tour base. Nothing is being taken out beforehand, so if you have left anything inside, then it's your own fault. Management also requests that this room not be mentioned to family, friends, or insurance representatives. Sidetracks? Is that Sidetracks? Hey, hello man, what's up? How you doing? Thanks again, and remember to smile with the face of dude. So, budget restrictions. I'm not buying it. Something happened. Safe rooms are being sealed at most locations, including this one. For what reason though? There has to be something. Somebody used the Spring Bonnie suit to do something, and that's why the rooms are being sealed. Lawsuit. Insurance representatives. Are they going to burn the place down? Why would they mention insurance representatives? Probably to burn the place down, to get the money, right? Wow. Okay. I don't know what to say. It's a bit weird thing. Okay, thing closes down. Freddy Fazbear is burned down overnight because of the faulty wiring in the building. It was also stated on the newspaper that the items that remained were sold for public auction. Brightening this news reveals that Springtrap survived the fire, as he is seen in the background of the Freddy Fazbear figurine. The player receives another star as a version completing that while only the aggressive cheat is enabled, will reward the player with 4th star on the main menu. Okay. Unlike the other games in the series, FNAF 3 is the first one to have a name other than Night 6 for Night 6. The all still contain an ending. Alright, FNAF 3 is the only game in the series to have only 6 nights. whereas the others carried on to one final night. Yep, the custom night. Okay. The newspaper at the end has some interesting Easter eggs associated with it. If the image of the newspaper is brightened, one can barely see Springtrap peeking through behind the Freddy figurine. The blurred text surrounding the article shows Scott Cawthon talking about the development of the original game. It's okay. What's okay? Alright, night 6. I think I covered everything of FNAF 3. There's a lot of thinking I need to do to when this thing actually takes place. I need to theorize a lot of things, and it's a bit weird. This game gives me chills in the lore part, not the gameplay. The gameplay is not that great, but in the lore part, this game gives me chills. It's just a lot of information and not a lot of closer to the previous information. Like, it's trying to tie loose ends, but then it brings more information, and it's just confusing the hell out of me to why that certain thing even exists. So let's just go through the phone calls one more time. We know the mini games, just phone calls. Nothing in the night 1, night 2. Nothing in the night 2 as well. I think he just it's just a phone call. You can switch between the spring lock suits. He just talks about spring lock suits again, and also talks about the safe room, the emergency room, the safe room in the back. Night 4, he talks about not using the spring lock suits, and also I think night 5 he talks about the safe room is to not take anything. He talks about the policy of the safe room, not to use it as a go gameplay. Now I don't have the game with me right now, but I would have played the game. Consider a place for employees to hide. Okay, so cool. And he also talks about Bonnie, the spring Bonnie, being moved. So somebody used it, probably purple guy, for killing somebody. And I think to hide that, they probably start working on sealing at most locations though. What's most locations? How many locations even are there? I don't know. It's just phone guy at this point is just an unreliable narrator, because he talks about there being only one location, 2 locations in total, and now he talks about most locations, so there has to be more than 4, including this one. They're constructing a false wall. Nothing is being taken out beforehand, so if you have left anything inside, then it's your own fault. That's because they already warned. So this has been in plans since I think night 2, night 3, I would say. So this has been in plans to seal the walls, and alright, so they did kind of warn us to not put shit inside, and they probably thought purple guy would just put something in there, something, I don't know. Nothing is being taken out, so if you left anything inside, it's your own fault. Management also requests that if the room not be mentioned family, friends, or insurance representatives. So I think they're trying to burn the place down. I think they're just due to budget restrictions. Yeah, see right there. Oh, I didn't read that. I didn't connect that. So they have budget restrictions and they want the insurance money. So they sealed the hidden room for legal reasons, and insurance representatives. So they're trying to get the insurance money. All right, cool. And I think that's it. That's the 6th night, right? Yeah, that's the 6th night. That's about it for FNAF 3. I need to do a lot more thinking. I don't know why I have this notepad open to write notes, but there were no notes specific. I'm gonna take a huge time for FNAF 3. There's a lot of information. I need to do more research than this, probably in my own time. So thank you sidetracks. Sorry. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for joining. I'm sorry I cannot do gameplay. I don't have the game. I used to have the game. I don't have it anymore. I used to borrow my friend's Steam account for that. I don't have it anymore. But yeah, thank you for joining. Anyway, and yeah, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye bye.